Welcome to another video. You've got Mr. Everything English, and today we are looking at the brand new English language paper 1 and paper 2 exams that will be sat for the first time from May and June 2026.
Everything Education. Tuition for maths, English and science.
Now guys, before we begin, if you needed lessons in English, maths or science, online or in person, do head over to everythingeducation.co.uk because we offer lessons in all of these subjects. And in particular guys, all of the online English classes are taught by myself, whether this is English language or English literature. And right now guys, if you join between now and October the 5th, you receive 99% off of your first month. So guys, should you wish to join, do head over to everythingeducation.co.uk. Now guys, in this video, we're simply going to be looking at the brand new AQA English language papers. Now, in the top right hand corner, you will see that it says first exam in June 2026. So these are hot and fresh off the press. Now, first things first guys, when it comes to the insert for paper 1, nothing has changed. One insert, one extract, that is paper 1 done. Now, when it comes to the exam itself, the outside paper, the front cover, again, nothing has changed. The exam is still 1 hour 45 minutes and there are still 80 marks up for grabs. Everything remains the same. But when you open paper 1, you begin to notice the changes instantly. If you look at paper 1, question number 1, no longer do we get the full statements as we were getting in the previous exam. Now, rather than the full statements, we've got question 1.1, question 1.2, question 1.3, and question 1.4. Each of these questions is collecting us 1 mark. So as you can see here guys, 1 mark over here, 1 mark over here, 1 and 1. Now the timings for this question remain the same, 4 marks, 5 minutes. And all we do in this question guys is we read the first paragraph, which is what we did previously, and we are simply given a comprehension question for the first paragraph, in this case the first 7 lines. So for example, in this one guys, why had the weather changed? And the answers come from the extract. We simply choose the one from the extract that fits perfectly. So for example, you must decide out of the 3 which one fits, out of the 3 which one fits, out of the 3 which one fits. So rather than writing an answer, you are now simply selecting an answer out of 3, each one giving you 1 mark, making it a total of 4. Now guys, when it comes to English language paper 1 question number 2, nothing at all has changed. This question is still looking at normally the second paragraph, is still looking at language, and is still asking you to discuss the impact language has. Now when it says language, it's talking about language devices and words and phrases. Now question number 3, things have changed. Guys, question number 3, things have changed. What remains the same? The marks for the question remain the same, so 8 marks, 10 minutes, 2 paragraphs is what you're aiming for, and it is still the structure question. So when they say structure, they're talking about structural devices, long paragraph, short paragraph, foreshadowing, flashback, all of these things remain the same. However, the focus of the question has now changed. Previously, paper 1, question 3 was all about interest. How has the writer structured the text to create interest? That has now been removed. Now it's all about a specific single effect. And this gives the question much more of a focus. Interest is very, very broad, but now they're giving you specific effects. So for this one, it says, how has the writer structured the text to create sympathy? It could also be, how has the writer structured the text to create tension? How has the writer structured the text to create confusion? But the change that has taken place in this question is that we now have a single effect that we are focusing on. Now guys, question number 4. Every single thing remains the same. However, they have changed this part over here. Previously, since the beginning of this GCSE, it would always say, a student said in this part of the source, the writer develops. All they've done is they've removed the part of the question that says a student said. Everything else remains the same. It is still 20 marks, it is still 3 paragraphs, and it is still asking us to talk about the writer's methods and so on. Everything else remains the same. They simply remove the words a student said. Then we move on to question number 5, where there have been some lovely changes. And guys, I gotta talk about this question properly. Now listen carefully. Previously in the GCSE, the question 5, they would give you a picture and they would say to you, write a description as suggested by the picture. Now, we literally have so much more scope to do what we want. Now it says, write a description of a train journey from your imagination. You may choose to use the picture or you may choose to ignore it completely. So really, this is the question now. This is the question over here. They are now going to ask you to do a description based upon a task. Now the picture will be linked to the description, but this is the important part. You can literally ignore the picture. So if you see the picture and the picture looks a bit off, forget it, leave it. But the blue is what we are now told. And the key part is this, guys. You can write a description from your imagination, which gives us so much freedom. So much freedom. And then when it comes to the story, rather than writing all of the story, we now have the option of just writing the opening of a story. That again is a lovely change. Now I want to kind of mention something, right? I don't know if I should mention it, but I'm going to anyway. Question 5 has now become a lot easier. Question 5 has now become a lot easier. We have so much scope to now make our answers fit the question. This one says, write a description of a train journey from your imagination. Your imagination can be anything. It could be a train journey in the middle of a desert. It could be a train journey in New York. It could be a train journey on Pluto. It can literally be anywhere. You have so much scope. So that means for those of us who are pre-planning, we kind of have 2 questions now to make our story fit into, rather than the previous one. So guys, question 5 is now much more broader. Imagination. If you want to, you can use the picture. If you don't want to, you can completely ignore the picture. And you now have the option of just writing the opening of a story. Perfect. There should be no complaints about not being able to finish. Because when the 45 minutes are up, wherever you finished, just put a full stop, end it there, and call it the opening of your story. Done. Now, marks remain the same. We are still working with 40 marks. We are still, guys, working with 40 marks, 45 minutes, same mark scheme. They simply changed the wording of the question to make our lives easier. And that is paper 1 done. Now, guys, when it comes to paper number 2, insert is the same. We get source A, we get source B. Nothing has changed when it comes to the insert. When it comes to the exam itself for paper 2, again, nothing has changed. 1 hour, 45 minutes. When it comes to question number 1, paper 2, nothing has changed. You're given 8 statements, and based upon the question, you must pick which 4 are true or which 4 are false, depending upon the question. Now, when it comes to question number 2, finally, thank God, AQA, you have fixed the terrible wording on this question. For so long, there was such a big hullabaloo. Is question 2 a comparison? Is it a summary? What is it? Guys, question 2 was never a comparison, and the wording now makes it so much better. Now, guys, 8 marks, 10 minutes, still 2 paragraphs, and now they've made it very clear that for this question, this is all about inference. Finally, I love it. We are writing 2 paragraphs, one about source A, one about source B, about how they are different, and it's all about inference. Reading between the lines. What is the writer trying to tell us? So this question has changed. In my opinion, for those of you who follow what I say, for us, not much has changed because we've always done PEI paragraphs, meaning point, evidence, infer, evidence, infer, evidence, infer. So now AQA has simply validated the importance of inference by putting inference into the question. Now, what's the difference between inference and effect? Effect is when you explain the effect of a technique. Inference is when you talk directly about a piece of evidence. It's when you talk about a core. But I'm going to move on because this video isn't about me analyzing each question. That's coming up in later videos. For now, I just want to show you the entire exam. Now guys, question number 3 was previously a language question and it remains exactly the same. Nothing has changed. We are still analyzing language. 12 marks, 2 to 3 paragraphs, pretzel all day long. Talk about similes, talk about metaphors, talk about verbs. This question remains unchanged. Paper 2, question number 4. Nothing has changed other than this bullet point over here. That's the only thing that has changed. Previously, it was saying compare the methods. Now it's saying comment on the methods. Again, much easier, much more focused. But the question itself remains the same. The marks remain the same. The timings remain the same. The mark scheme remains the same. The paragraph structure remains the same. And when it comes to paper 2, question number 5, drum roll please. Nothing at all has changed. Everything is exactly how it was previously. Done. Nice and easy. And guys, this is the GCSEs for June and May 2026. As you can see guys, there have been some slight changes to the wordings of the question, but what is super duper important for us to understand is the following. The mark schemes remain the same, the timings for the questions remain the same, how much we write remains the same, how much time we have in the exam remains the same. It's just in slight wordings here and there to give us a little bit more focus. And that is that guys. That is the exams from May, June 2026. For those of you doing the retake in November, this does not apply to you. You will be doing the same GCSE that you did a couple of months ago. Alright guys, I hope you found that video beneficial. I've got loads of brand new past papers. I might... Guys, what I'll do is this. The brand new past papers, keep an eye out on everythingeducation.co.uk. Let me show you guys. If you go to everythingeducation.co.uk guys, across the top of the page, there are quite a few tabs. If you click on the past papers tab, what I'll do is give me a week or so, I'll upload all the new papers that I have onto this area here. So you go to past papers, if you go to English language, if you go to paper 1 and paper 2, I'll put the papers inside here. Give me a couple of days guys and I'll get this done for you so you can go through these papers at your own pace. Alright guys, it's been Mr. Everything English. Peace.